Zavi, start the show. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. We hope it is good. Welcome to another edition of Geeks Who Like Sports. As always, I am Ray Carcillo in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Joined by my best friend in the entire world over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lee Elias. Lee, how are you doing today?
Mate, I'm doing really well, mate. It's been a great day. Weather's been really nice and springy here lately, and you're my mate, Ray, right? I consider you my mate. Would you be my mate? That's great, because today's non-sponsor is Coffee Mate. Because if you're gonna have a cup of coffee, the only way to do it right is with some Coffee Mate. A lot of people like powder. A lot of people like just traditional half and half and milk. I'm not gonna lie to you. This Coffee Mate, specifically this flavor for me, Ray. It's called cinnamon vanilla creme. You gotta say it like that. It's the accents there. I'm just gonna say it one more time for the audience who loves my voice. Cinnamon vanilla creme, which unfortunately I was drinking this for years and it disappeared.
Oh.
And for many years I would go to the store and I would go to the Coffee Mate section hoping that one day I would see this again, and it came back. But I think they've renamed it again into something called the Duo. The duos that they're doing at Coffee Mate. Now it's vanilla and cinnamon. It's the same thing. I'm fine because I love my cinnamon vanilla creme. Coffee Mate by Nestle, by the way. So I guess Nestle is really the non-sponsor. But Coffee Mate, making coffee, which is already pretty enjoyable, more enjoyable every single day. I'm a big cinnamon guy. Coffee Mate, your non-sponsor of the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nestle makes a lot of great products. So, yes, if they wanted to have us be sponsored by something besides Coffee Mate, that's perfectly fine as well.
Yes, Coffee Mate. And you know what? I add also in my coffee with Coffee Mate?
What?
Splenda and something else.
Of course, it's something else. Yeah, that's absolutely. So I'm just going to keep drinking my black Dunkin' Donuts cold brew. So
you could have some Coffee Mate. You want some Coffee Mate? Here,
actually, I wouldn't mind. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. Yes. Yeah. It's the problem is I'm not supposed to. With my I'm looking for easy ways to cut back because my doctors are like, yeah, you're gonna die. Whatever.
Well, don't do that.
Yes.
Coffee Mate. You're gonna die.
No, Coffee Mate's not gonna kill you. I'm just looking for easy.
Yes. We won't say that if you sponsor us, Coffee Mate. Thank you for listening.
We promise. Well, there goes that non-sponsor. I've ruined it again.
Today's non-sponsor, which makes them the sponsor, is Ray Carcillo sarcasm.
Yes.
It's something else.
It's something else. We got a big show for you, folks. Everybody, I'm a little exhausted because Summer Game Fest just ended. So I'm just kind of still trying to get back into a normal swing of things. We got a big sports show for you, too. We're talking about a lot of the major sports. But we're going to kick things off, of course. We got two championships going on at the same time. We got the NBA and the NHL playoffs. Lee, we're going to kick things off with the Stanley Cup final. Of course, the greatest trophy in all of sports.
Easily.
And by this time next week, honestly, actually in both sports, by this time next week, we might know who the champion is.
My prediction for the final is safe as of this moment.
Yeah, both of us in both sports picked the Celtics and picked the Panthers. And we're again starting with the Panthers. The Panthers look absolutely clicking on all cylinders. Bobrovsky's given up only a single goal in the first two games. He looks absolutely like a man possessed, like Connor McDavid. I mean, they're getting good shots. Edmonton's had their scoring opportunities.
They're not getting enough shots.
They're not getting enough.
That's a problem. Listen.
And Bobrovsky's like, nope, smack, nope,
yeah,
leg save, scorpion save, nope.
I predicted a sweep in this series, which I would call a bold prediction anytime you're going against Connor McDavid. They are not getting enough shots. They do not have the depth, and they do not have the drive that the Florida Panthers have. Of course, look, I've seen teams steal it. They go to Edmonton. That this game 3 is their best chance to win a game. But this is not an even series right now. I will say this. Connor McDavid is the greatest hockey player in the world. I'm watching him play in these finals. Yeah. He is unbelievable. It's not enough.
Yep.
Florida is clicking on all cylinders. The only hope that Edmonton has is, unfortunately, injuries.
I was going to say keep hurting other Panther players.
Well, Sasha Barkov left that game early. We don't know what's going on there. Another Panther player hurt his knee. So health plays into it. But even with that still, Ray, with the way Bobrovsky's playing, I'm going to say it again. This is a team that lost last year and knows what it's like to lose a cup final. And again, I've done this, Ray. I do not believe any team has ever lost a final, gotten back the next year, and lost again. not since the expansion, right? And you can look around at that, right? And I think about it, like you said, the Islanders won 4 in a row, then lost one, they were out. The Oilers won 2, didn't make it, won another 2, then they got one in 90. I can't remember any teams that got there twice and lost 2 times in a row. So that's a stat they're not putting on the TV because they're not thinking. But
surprise, surprise, ESPN and TNT not thinking.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I think there's a sweep scenario, and I don't think I've ever predicted a sweep in the final before in all of my years in hockey. Like that's how But
it's going to be a
3 is
series.
their best chance.
Yeah, even if Edmonton steals a game, I think that this is a 5-game series maximum.
I think it's very likely that Edmonton will see the Stanley Cup in Game 4. It's just they're not going to be winning it.
Yeah,
no. And Florida will win their cup in Edmonton.
Yes,
which is amazing.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And Paul Maurice, by the way, some interesting comments today on the press conference, really specifically calling out Leon Draisaitl for that hit on Barkov that you mentioned.
It was a jumping elbow. It was a tough hit.
He basically told the Edmonton Stars to watch yourselves in Game 3.
Look, Paul Maurice has been cooler than some lemonade and iced tea on a hot day, which is also called an Arnold Palmer.
Yes.
But he's been real cool. He looks real confident in his team. Look, I can say this right now, and Ray, that I'm not saying this as a jab. I watched the New York Rangers against this Panthers team. You don't want to piss them off. They're already physical. You don't want them to get more physical. And I'll tell you right now, getting them off their game is not going to happen with physicality. It only enhances their game. And Edmonton does not need to be playing that game.
No,
I think that's what happened is they say, we got to play these guys tough. That's not the way to beat these guys. Sometimes you got to be tough, not hurt them. So we'll see what happens. I just don't think Edmonton has the depth. I do think this Edmonton team will be back to the Stanley Cup final. I'm already sounding like it's over, but it's just I don't see how the Panthers can lose this series. And look, I hope next week we're talking and I'm like, wow, Edmonton's made this amazing comeback. And who could have seen this coming?
We've got a series.
Yeah, there's no ego with my predictions. I just call it like I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, we see it. That is, again, we might be talking about championships in both leagues next week.
As soon as Tuesday, This cup final could be over by the next time we talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they do sweep, I fully expect our producer Savi to do a super cut of me saying sweep, 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 so that we can put that out on the internet of this guy called it. We're getting a thumbs up.
No one is rooting more for Edmonton to win just one game than Savi now. Knowing that he has that.
No, I don't have to do that. Right. Real question. The age test. When I say this, tell me what comes to mind. Boom.
Shakalaka.
Okay, that's an interesting answer. I was going to say tough acting, 10 acting, but that's okay. Boom shakalaka. Wait, they both 90s references.
Absolutely, NBA Jam, yeah,
and the great John Matt.
Of course, yes, for tough.
Boom, right? Tough acting, 10 acting. I don't know why that came in my head. Yeah. Everyone over 40 is like, oh yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, boom shakalaka.
Yeah. He's on fire.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Like my wife always says, not tonight.
Yeah. We're gonna get into the NBA real quick. Also, real quick before we wrap the last thing. With Edmonton, it looks like the Oilers fans are more feisty than the actual players. I don't know if you saw this. There was a fight in the arena where some Edmonton fans got into the face of some Florida fans, and in typical Florida fashion, they like to run their mouths, but definitely can't handle themselves in a fight. The Edmonton fans definitely way tougher. But at least
I wonder if instead of Florida man, maybe we're gonna have Edmonton man.
Edmonton man, Edmonton man down
it's like
there.
A Canadian superhero.
That's right, Edmonton man. And so we could it could happen.
Edmonton man, eh?
Yeah. But that's the only thing going for the Oilers right now is that the Oiler fans definitely got one over on the Florida fans, at least in the fisticuffs. Although I'm sure they all were probably restrained. And
listen, Florida, these people grow up in perpetual winter and hell. They leave their cars on when they go into the rink to keep them warm the entire time. In Florida, that's not happening. So
so
Florida man.
No reason to run your mouth at the Edmonton fans. You guys are gonna probably win the Stanley Cup. So, but asking Florida fans to show class that's not gonna happen either. So, just saying. Anyway,
coffee mate.
Coffee mate. Yeah. We mentioned NBA Jam. That leads us, of course, into the NBA and the Celtics. Speaking of classless fans, Boston. Celtics fans, the Celtics are going to probably sweep the Mavericks as well. Again, similar situation. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, they need to find a way to pull off a game in Dallas. Probably both games, really, to have a chance in this series. Again, we both picked the Celtics. The Celtics look unbeatable. Even though Kristaps Porzingis got hurt in Game 2, a weird knee injury. They said he's day to day. When you that big, knee injuries are pretty common. But Boston has too many weapons. They're clicking on all cylinders. They're the best team the whole season. Dallas gave them a bit of a run in Game 2, and then Boston was like, okay, we're done playing around, and won by 7. So, Lee, what is there to say right now about the NBA Finals?
Not the final. The finals.
Yes, finals.
I don't know what to say, right? It's one of those things of just I wish basketball had a little more parity when it comes to this part of the season. Like, this isn't not a the Celtics were just that good this year. Like, most seasons there's a team that seems pretty dominant, and it's like in each conference. And if you don't get both of them there, it can be a rush. But look, I've seen teams come back before. I've seen crazier things happen. The 2-0 lead is never as secure as you think it is. But again, these Game 3s coming up are vital. They are vital games. I mean, I think only one team in NHL history in the final has come back from 3-0. And that was way long time ago, right? Like pre-expansion. And NBA, obviously,
it's never happened.
No, it's happened. It didn't. I think Miami came back. I'm sorry, who was it? Not Miami. Cleveland. They came back on the Warriors one year. I don't know if that was 3-1.
They came back 3-1, not 3-1.
So never mind. Yeah, it's never happened.
Right. It's never happened. It's never happened in the NBA. There's never been a reverse sweep in the NBA.
Yeah. So these Game 3s are vital to Dallas and Edmonton. Just be happy that you're there.
That's what it kind of looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah. The rest of us are all just waiting for the season to end so we can be like, yay, we're all undefeated.
Yep. Back to start now. The off season starts, or in my case, as I was talking to you yesterday, it's baseball season. You mean there's still hockey?
They just played the World Series in London, and the Mets split with the Phillies and have won somehow the World Series.
Boy, do we have a lot to talk about with baseball?
I mean, talk about a fan base. I'm not hurt. I mean, the Mets somehow accidentally won that game, but
yes,
I mean,
the Phillies gifted them a win in London,
and I gotta hear from the Mets fans. I'm like, it's not worried about you. Sorry.
Again, I talk about this on my baseball streams all the time because Met fans have the worst inferiority complex, I think, of anybody currently in sports right now. They think they've won 4 or 5, right? Which is by far the best they've done all year.
Sounds like a normal week for us, Ray.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to come after the 2 best teams in sports and the Yankees and Phillies.
We don't care.
And we don't care. It's just like,
way to go.
We won 4 or 5 and we're not that far out. You're 7 teams behind in the wild card and you're 8 games under 500.
Way to go, Skip. But you know what you did? You know what the Mets did, Ray?
What?
They pissed off the Phillies.
Well,
and
yeah.
Phillies are going on a road trip, and this team hates losing.
Yeah, they're going to Boston now, so
they might have helped us out quite a bit. All right, because I'll tell you right now, these guys don't like losing. Tough news out of Philadelphia today is JT Realmuto is going on the IR.
He's tore his meniscus. He's going to have to miss about 2 months probably.
Well, look, here's the thing. This is the right time to do it. Garrett Stubbs is a more capable backup. We'll call up our
you'll have the All-Star break to heal.
Yeah. This is. I mean, it's a weird thing to say. I've never been in a position so confident in a team of like, oh, okay. And then Trey Turner will be back sooner than later too.
Yeah.
So these guys have stepped up every step of the way, and we always talk about being healthy, but no, they're doing this now. I'm sure that conversation went, why would you wait till late in the season or next season? Get yourself ready. We're going to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
Get yourself ready.
Yep. Do it now. Yeah. Exactly. Do it now. And then this way you play some
baseball
in August or September. And this way you're ready for the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Similar, the other World Series that took place this weekend was Yankees-Dodgers.
Yes. World Series.
Yes, of course, which is the most common matchup in baseball history. The Yankees and Dodgers have met 11 times in the World Series. Yankees taking 8 of those.
Nope. I'd add that in. You had to add that in, of course.
Absolutely had to add that in. And again, people were harping on the Yankees because we lost 2 or 3. And it's like, yeah, that happens. That happens. One game was a 0-0 game through 10 innings, and then finally our bullpen collapsed, and then they killed us game 2, and we beat up on them game 3. Like,
you got to throw them something every once in a while, right?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing is that this kind of stuff happens. And again, speaking of injuries, Juan Soto did not play that whole series. The Dodgers also beat the Yankees' 7th best starter in Cody Poteet, who they had to call up because of injuries. Again, speaking of be hurt now, not later. And Nestor Cortez, who will probably go to the bullpen once Clark Schmidt and Garrett Cole are back. And then you face our super ace, the guy who's calling. By the way, he's good on this kid. I know who's helping him with his branding. Luis Heel, who has now started putting out merch called King of the Heel. Freaking brilliant. Good on him. But who's, by the way, has, I think now a 1.9 ERA this year as a rookie. Yeah, what do you guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why you guys are suddenly thinking the Yankees are falling apart. No, we're not.
No, you're not.
No, we're not. We're
Ray,
40, we have 40, we're 47 and 21.
The Yankees are visiting Philadelphia. This is your chance. We can do Geeks Live in Philadelphia.
The World Series.
It's the World Series of baseball.
That's right.
In Philadelphia. The difference is the last time you and I went to a Yankees-Phillies game in Philadelphia, the Phillies were not a great team.
No.
And they were, there's plenty of Yankees fans there.
Yes.
I do not think that will be the case this time.
No.
Yes, no, I think that stadium will be red. By the way, just calling out to London, England, lot of red in that stadium.
Yeah.
It was a Phillies home game, both games.
Yeah, although there was one weird dude who when the Phillies were up at the bat, he had a Phillies hat, and then when the Mets were up at the bat, he switched to a Mets hat.
Yeah, England's a weird place. It's also my second home. So hello,
I liked England. I was a big fan. I lived there for a month.
I lived there for several months.
You were there for several years.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we love England, and
I love traveling. I know another team in the MLB that's going to be traveling a lot next season.
Oh, goodness gracious. The Oakland Athletics. So we know they're going to be in Sacramento the next couple of years, and then they're going to move to Vegas. And then this came out is that Jeff Fisher, the owner of the Athletics, has reached out to baseball and to Vegas and was like, so we know you guys are building us this $2 billion stadium right on the Strip. We actually don't want to play all our games in Vegas because we're jerks. I think that we can make more money. Well, I can make more money as the billionaire owner of this franchise if I play 10% of my games at neutral sites like Mexico City and San Juan and Korea and London. And Vegas now is like, huh?
We'll make our own baseball team.
Yeah, Vegas is kind of like they're going to put it
gamblers.
They're going to put it on a vote next month, their local legislature. But this could actually blow up the deal because now Vegas is kind of like, what do you mean you only want to play 70 games a year in Vegas? You want to play the other 8 to 11 on the road. What?
Well, listen, I'll be somewhat the antithesis of this, even though I don't agree with it. I understand what the guy's trying to do. What he's trying to do is grow the Athletics brand, and by visiting other cities, you endear a brand to those people. We know this. You can see this in other things. Like, I'll give a great example. Like, this is a stupid one, but like a lot of people in England are Mighty Ducks fans because of the films, right? That was their introduction to hockey, so they naturally like the Ducks, which is the dumbest thing ever because it's literally the farthest team from England.
Yeah,
I think outside Vancouver. But other things too, like, you know, there's probably a lot of Mets and Phillies fans now in England that weren't there before, right?
There's a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar fans in London.
Right.
The Jags are there every year.
But the cojones on someone to say to someone building them a $2 billion stadium of like, oh no, this will help build the brand. You don't need to build the brand because everyone, like the Vegas Golden Knights and the Vegas Raiders, is going to travel to Vegas when their team is playing the A's because it's Vegas.
Yes.
You schmuck. All right, I'm not the antithesis.
Do you think I want to see the Yankees and Athletics in Mexico City?
Well, it wouldn't even be the Yankees. That's the thing. Like the Yankees.
Well, no, it would be the Athletics and the Angels. It'd be the Athletics and Mariners.
Yeah, it's like I don't need to go to Mexico to see the Brewers play. Okay, so it's just look, man. The thought is a sound thought, but it shouldn't be the A's first off. It should be several teams doing this. right? And
Yeah.
it should be an MLB initiative. And what would have been smarter is if the A's went to the MLB and said, listen, after we're in Vegas, like we'd like to do a neutral site game to try and help grow the brand.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, look, I get that. Like, again, like I understand doing a series once in a while at neutral sites. I absolutely understand it. But to basically say, volunteer your franchise to be the neutral site franchise to go everywhere, like
it's you know what they should have been like, hey, can we do the Field of Dreams game that year?
Sure.
Like that's what they should have done. Like the
Sure.
MLB does
Well,
those things
especially
every once in a while.
what's great about Oakland is that they've also played in Kansas City. They've also played in Philadelphia. They've played all over the years. You could do a lot with old uniforms and the Athletics, actually. People forget that. Like, they haven't always been in Oakland. But, like, yeah, but Jeff Fisher, just a regular in front of the bus. Yet another reason to put him in front of the bus.
Why don't you bring the A's back to Philadelphia? That's where they started.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be something. But then, and also, there's also rumors that, of course, that some of this is also Rob Manfred's machinations behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. Let's help the A's. That's what they need right now. Go win baseball games. You'll help yourself. Go to Vegas. You'll help yourself. Okay. Yes. Vegas is a sports town, and they have some of the best fans, although young, best fans I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of also great sports fans, I need to shout out the Oklahoma ladies, the Oklahoma Sooners. Man. The historic four-peat, first time ever in women's college softball that there has been a four-peat. They beat Texas in 2 games and have claimed their 4th straight women's championship in softball. That is not easy, folks, and it's incredible. Again, it's never happened before in NCAA softball, and this is a huge, huge deal for the ladies, and obviously everybody in Oklahoma, as they should be, very excited about this. Congrats to them on reaching the pinnacle for 4 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what level of competition it is. Winning 2 in a row is unbelievably hard. Winning 4 in a row, dynasty level, is insane, right? And you got to remember this too, my friends listening to this. This is a college. This roster is rotating. Yeah. This is not the same roster as it was the first year, second year, third year, or fourth year. So congrats to their coaching staff and their athletic director and the ability for that team to have a culture of winning that is so strong that it has brought them 4 championships in a row. Oklahoma ladies, my goodness, way to go.
Yes, absolutely unbelievable. Phenomenal work there. One last quick story going back to the major leagues in terms of baseball, and this will also transition us into our next story. The Minnesota Twins have unveiled their new City Connects. And
who's designing these things?
These are all awful.
Who's designing these things?
Awful. They are, first off, they are their enemy's colors. They are royal blue. They look like, I thought they were Kansas City Royal uniforms at first.
They look like Kansas City Royal uniforms
because they are that.
The ones were like, oh, that's different.
Right? Yeah, these look like other teams' uniforms, and then of course it has like it's supposed to be a tribute to the 10,000 lakes, right? Minnesota's called the land of lakes and all that. And you know, it has a bunch of water and all this other stuff and all the rivers and all that stuff. And it looks terrible. It looks terrible. I get it. I get that's what the state is. I get that's what the state is called. I get it. You don't need to design a uniform after it.
No.
And if you do, it shouldn't look like one of your division rival uniforms. What are you doing, fanatics?
Who's designing these things?
Oh, these such bad ideas. Bad ideas everywhere. But, you know, actually, I will say this. Something I learned in San Diego. I think their City Connects are some of the worst things I've ever seen. They are quite literally eyesores. I had to rub my eyes here. I was just thinking about them burned into my head. But the San Diego Padre fans, the 3 of them I saw in that 3-game series, were like, we like those uniforms. And I'm like, oh, because you're idiots. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you this about the Philly City Connect ones. Everybody loves the hat, including me. I have the hat.
Yeah, I agree. The hat is phenomenal for the Phillies. Absolutely.
The kids love the jerseys. I was in a store. I was in a Rally House, which is a huge sports store here. Mm-hmm. The guy said this: the Philly City Connect kids jerseys have actually sold out. So the kids love it, and that's good. That's who you should be designing these things for. But yeah, some of these decisions, Ray, I'm like, who is picking these things?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I also have to, I do have to mention this also when it comes to San Diego. San Diego is also a terrible sports town
Hmm.
generally. That's why they probably like these, because this was a fascinating story. I want to fit this in there. Matt Kemp, former outfielder for the Dodgers and for the Padres and for the Braves, went on and did an interview and basically bashed San Diego. He was like, I played there for 2 years and I was so happy when they traded me to the Braves, because I'm so used to playing in a place where like LA, where people care if you win or not.
You need to win.
And in San Diego, he was like, nobody cares. This is a former athlete who played for your only remaining sports team, folks, saying you don't care as fans. And then he's like, I was so happy to go to the Braves where people cared again in Atlanta. San Diego, you suck. So there we go.
You put a whole city in front of a bus?
I mean, look, they lost the Clippers, they lost the Chargers. Like, they don't like. I think I'm doing a good job. I think I've insulted Florida fans, Boston fans, San Diego fans.
Yeah, and
I think I'm on a good roll right now.
So. Yeah, I mean, well, at least Edmonton fans want to have a beer with you.
That's true. That's true. So, but yeah, so terrible uniforms all across the board. San Diego and Minnesota, you guys need to go back to the drawing board. So. Speaking of uniforms, we go down to Brazil. Not willingly, but we have to, because the NFL says we have to. And the opening week of the season, Packers and Eagles. And this originally came to light because, again, speaking of athletes doing interviews, Josh Jacobs, now the running back for the Packers, former Raider running back, went on Chris Long's podcast, former NFL lineman. He has a podcast now. Like, of course, everybody has a podcast. We have a podcast.
We have a podcast.
We have a podcast. This is what you're listening to.
Non-sponsored by Coffee Mate.
Yes. Josh Jacobs said that they were told not to wear green at all around the city that they're in Brazil, that they were going to have to be escorted by armored vans and trucks and whatnot, and that it was going to be gang related. Some digging was done further. It is not because it's gang related. It's because again, I did an analogy beforehand. The best way to describe it would be is that the home stadium that they're going to be playing in, the stadium of the city that they're playing in, has a law that you are not allowed to wear green because that is their biggest rival's color. So it'd be as if like the Yankees made a law that you cannot wear red to the Yankee Stadium because that's the Red Sox color, right? So it's kind of like that, but does sound like there will be penalties and fines and whatnot, and probably some trouble if the team wears green. Lee, what are the primary colors of the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles?
I believe it's Kelly Green and green, right?
Yes! So why are you going to a place where they won't let you wear green?
Yeah, I just wouldn't go. I mean, this is like the NFL bowing to another country's needs. Like, send 2 other teams then. This is ridiculous because the Eagles alternates are yellow and light blue, which is an eyesore in itself.
And so is the Packers.
Yeah, it's just, don't go. Like, this is your brand. What are you doing? Like, you're bowing to Brazil with this? I don't understand.
This is a bad way to grow the game.
Sports in that part of the world are a little more life and death than they are up here.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if there is some gang-related stuff down there, Ray. But just don't go. Why would you put your athletes in that situation?
I mean, the fact that I do believe the part about them having like armed escorts everywhere they go, I do believe is accurate. And it's like
people get killed down there when you lose a game.
Yes.
I don't know why we're sending our teams down there, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Like, you go back earlier, growing the game and the brand and stuff, but there are some places you just don't have to grow. You
don't have to go to Brazil to grow the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. Good luck, week 1. Good luck, Eagles and Packers.
Yeah, you mean the Philadelphia Blue Stars and the Blue
Bay
Packers.
The Acme Packers.
The Acme Packers. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So I don't know. This was a confusing thing with the NFL, and I don't know if they can work out some kind of a deal or something. But this was another surprising mistake by our biggest sports league. So, speaking of mistakes, at least I feel it's a mistake. We now look at the Olympics. The Olympics are only a month away.
1 month away, really. No one's talking about them. That's kind of weird.
It's because they're stupid. But anyway, in my opinion, I've never been a fan of the Olympics. Like, obviously I root for the U.S., but again, it's something every 4 years, and then it fades away. The Olympics do not matter, I think, either in terms of the global. They used to be a thing for like global politics as well, and I don't think they're used nearly as much as they were in that sense anymore. There's I think the Olympics do not mean as much as they did even when we were kids.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that, Ray. I mean, on a geopolitical scale, maybe. But look, I think the Olympics are an amazing competition of the world's best at something, and I think that the fact that most of these athletes are amateur athletes in that sense it's a big deal, right? So, I'm a big fan of the Olympics. Obviously, prefer the Winter Olympics over the Summer Olympics, but there is something amazing about track and field at the Olympics and being the fastest person in the world or team in the world, and not to mention some of the sports that happen at the Olympics. Doesn't mean I always agree with how the Olympics are run, which we're going to talk about, but I think the Olympics is a great global competition, and I think the planet's better for it.
Well, we're split on this one. I really don't care about the Olympics. So there you go.
Come at me, bro. I'm just kidding.
Well,
come at me,
we
mate.
don't agree. What? We don't agree. Flip the table.
Flip the table.
Yeah, no. But you know what's something I think we might agree on this one. I do think it is a mistake that Caitlin Clark is not going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Not chosen for Team USA for the women's basketball team. And look, I get it. She's a rookie. There's
I don't get it. I don't get it. They're saying bullshit like, oh, well, we picked this team 3 years in advance. We start working. Caitlin Clark's not a new name in college basketball the last 2 years.
Right.
She's the greatest college basketball player of all time. She's already a pretty darn good WNBA player. Not to mention, and again, I don't care if you're picking for this reason or not, she's a PR dream.
Well, that's the thing is that in terms of growing the sport, in terms of growing the brand, not to mention, typically you do reserve a spot for a rookie on this club. And that's why it's questionable that you pick 12 people. They're all veterans. And you didn't use one of those spots for the quote-unquote up-and-coming rookie star, who typically you want to lead the team. This is going to become the leader of your team in 4 years.
This is also not just a rookie star. This is the most prolific women's basketball player in collegiate history. She is already putting up all-star numbers in the WNBA. This is a massive oversight. It's stupid. There's obviously – they did this with Christian Laettner and the Dream Team. We all know that story, so it's not like this is a new idea. Not to mention, you said about growing the game. This just kind of plays into that storyline of why is everybody against Caitlin Clark? Now, I'll tell you what you did do. You pissed her off. She's too much of a pro to say that, but she did say that they woke up a monster now, right? Yep. Like I love the storylines right now because we're talking about women's basketball, but I mean, this is going to drive her to be the greatest female basketball player of all time. I mean, I'm comfortable saying that, but USA basketball, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is the dumbest decision.
Yep.
And look, maybe it's because they want her to stay back and continue doing the WNBA stuff over the Olympic stuff, but I don't know. This was a kind of a stupid oversight. Yeah, and I don't like the rationale of we scout this team for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that. She was great 3 years ago.
She was great 3 years ago. You could see her coming. Something else was going on here.
No, again, it's more political BS. And like you said, you mentioned Christian Laettner and all that. But again, typically, yes, I get that she is technically a rookie in the WNBA, but you usually reserve a spot for a rookie in the hopes that they'll get the experience in this kind of international competition.
Somebody didn't want her there. Okay. Yes. It's that simple. That's why Isaiah wasn't on that 94 team because Jordan didn't want him there. All right. Yeah. That's what's happening here. Somebody or multiple people don't want her to be there.
Egos. It's all a bunch of egos. Anyway, speaking of people not being wanted where places that they should belong, this was stupid. This was just stupid. For those who don't know, Joey Chestnut, of course, is an American icon. And of course, the king of the hot dog eating championship. I believe he is a 16-time Nathan's hot dog eating hot dog champion on the 4th of July. It is a national iconic moment. To me, it is as big, if not bigger, than the Kentucky Derby. This is a big, big deal. Joey Chestnut is the most prolific competitive eater ever.
Like, it's not even close.
And Joey, now again, competitive eaters don't exactly make a ton of money. You don't get, the best don't get not paid. Like, supposedly Joey made $200,000 last year. I wish I got $200,000 just to eat. Hey, Nathan's, I'll only eat like 3 hot dogs, right? But if you want me to go and eat in your competition, you pay me $200,000, I'll do it, right? But Joey Chestnut signed a deal, and I'm imagining a very lucrative deal because Nathan's was very upfront. Nathan's offered Joey Chestnut a 4-year, $1.2 million deal. That's $300,000 a year. And Joey turned it down and signed with Impossible Foods. Now, for those, of course, don't know, that is, of course, the vegan faux meat brand that obviously has hot dogs and burgers and whatever. You can put air quotes around them if you want. But and Nathan's was like, well, that's one of our primary rivals. That's like signing with Sabret or signing with Ballpark or something. And they're like, we're not letting Joey compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest now. Again, this is just ego and money and BS. And it's like, you're letting an icon, like, it's not like there's an Impossible Foods brand hot dog eating contest. Like, to me, hot dogs and Joey Chestnut, it's like Babe Ruth in baseball.
It's the dumbest ban in history. You get people betting on sports and cheating to win the World Series. This guy signs with Impossible. A guy, by the way, probably doesn't make that much money. I don't care what anybody says, and he has this inhuman talent. What are you doing, Nathan? What I really think this is a political way to get somebody else to compete and win.
Yeah, and now then you'll have Joey when his deal is done, and you'll have the champion versus champion kind of thing, and who's the real hot dog king?
Well, if he's smart, he'll eat Impossible hot dogs that day and just win it like that. Now I really want a hot dog. Damn it!
I love hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Yeah. Where can I get a hot dog right now on the air?
I don't know. There's a place down the street for me called Fabs.
I'm going to see that. We're going to do a little test here. We're going to do a live test of the year. I'm going to go to DoorDash.
Oh.
And I'm going to see if there's a hot dog option of some sort. Let's search. Let's search for hot dogs. Let's come in here. Help me out here, Ray. Just keep talking so I can do this.
I go to this place called Fabs. They're a great hot dog place right down the street from me, and they have like all these kind of crazy hot dog toppings. I get the Carolina Slaw dog, which is basically it's got mustard and it's got coleslaw on it. And it's wrapped in bacon. Oh, and it's got chili too, which is fantastic.
Five Guys does hot dogs.
Five Guys does great hot dogs. Actually, their hot dogs. It's interesting. They cut the hot dog in half. And kind of butterfly it
kosher
to kind of like make sure it cooks more evenly. I honestly, a Five Guys hot dog with just mustard is honestly really sad. I don't even get their fries. I'm not a big fan of Five Guy fries. I'm not a big fan of fries in general.
You don't like the whole potato in your mouth at once?
No, like for those who don't realize, I like onion rings more than French fries. To me, that's always the way to go. If I have the option, they don't do onion rings, so I don't get onion rings. So you usually get like a cheeseburger, and I get a hot dog, and I get a soda from Five Guys. Well, and it only costs me $75.
Here's the problem I have, right? I'm going to tell you, expensive. Just for the hot dog is $8.51. Do I want to spend that on the air? Possibly here. Savi, I'm looking at you, our producer. This is a live order. Do you want anything from Five Guys Burger and Fries? he's just shaking his head right now. No. Ray, should I do it? Should we see if we can get the hot dog here on time?
You think you could get the hot dog here before the end of the show?
I think I absolutely think I could. Yeah. And
we've got a pretty decent sized geek section. We got a lot of video games.
I think that I can do it. I see they got the burgers here too. I should do the hot dog.
You should do a hot. Well, are you hungry? Is this your dinner or is this like a snack?
This would kind of be dinner at this point.
I think you should get a burger and a hot dog.
No, I can't do that. I'm not crazy. Oh my God! Have you done that before?
I do that all the time. Yeah, that's my go-to order: a burger and a hot dog.
And you're worried about the coffee mate? This has been Realizations with Lee, a Geek offshoot.
Look, I don't go to Five Guys very much anymore because it's very expensive.
Well, listen, our other producer, Caitlin, who's listening to this conversation, is now offering to go to Five Guys to get the hot dog. This is becoming a thing here.
It is becoming a thing.
Ray, keep going for a minute. I'm going to mute my mic because I don't think our audience needs to hear us do all this order. This is going to be a Geek Select Sports live order.
It's a first. So is Five Guys now our official non-sponsor? Other non-sponsor?
Well, it depends how good the hot dog is.
I think it's a pretty solid hot dog. I've had Five Guys hot dogs before. I'm a pretty big fan. Again, I just get mine with mustard. I'm simple, but I get my burger. I get lettuce, tomato, raw onion, and ketchup. That's how I
love their burgers.
Their burgers are phenomenal.
I just want a hot dog now. I want to stay true to form here that this is a hot dog moment.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, but again, I think I would get both. but that's me because
Well, I'll have someone get I'll share a burger with someone. I can't do that much calories at once.
It's not that much.
It sounds like hell on earth for me later on.
Maybe for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, maybe for you.
Yeah. You're worried about the coffee, mate. We should get a hot dog and a burger from Five Guys. But hey, hold the fries.
That's right. No fries. No fries.
What do you
Burger,
get?
hot dog, soda, no fries.
What do you get to drink?
I usually go Diet Coke.
Okay.
Or Coke Zero.
There's no calories in that.
Yeah, Coke Zero. I mean, it's pretty standard, right? Coke Zero. I usually drink a lot of Coke Zero.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I always say Coke Zero in my head because when it came out, I think it was in France. And it's a Coke Zero. It's a Coke Zero. All right.
So is the order in?
Caitlin wants to go, so I'm going to do it. So
okay.
Hot dog with mustard and fries.
Oh, so you're getting fries. See, that's the thing. So
I'm going to get fries. Diet Coke. And there it is. Caitlin is walking out of her office right now to go to Five Guys. Savi doesn't want anything, right, Savi? He's got thumbs up, nothing. Okay. All right. Be smart out there, kid. All right. The clock's on.
The clock's ticking. The clock is ticking. We actually have a literal clock. We see the clock here.
I'm going to start a timer on my phone, too. Here we go. Here we go. Clock. Stopwatch. The reset start. Okay. The clock's going, everybody.
The clock is running.
You know, you might be thinking, people out there in podcast land might be thinking, this is stupid. This is the most geeks thing we've done.
Yeah.
On Geeks Like Sports. We're doing an order for food.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And kind of junky food, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fast food.
I'm going to have a hot dog live on the air, and I'm excited about it. I'm just letting you know.
So how far is Five Guys from you? Is it close? Like, is Caitlin going for like a long drive?
It's less than 5 minutes away.
Oh, well then, yeah, then I think she'll beat it. I think she'll beat it by the end of the geek section. I'm betting she will be here by the end of the geek section.
Yeah, I am too. I'll also say too that the DoorDash time was 19 minutes, so that gives you an idea. But I think her going there is going to actually save a lot of money.
I agree, because I think by the time she gets there, it'll be ready. Since it's just a hot dog and fries, they'll grill it up real quick. I think I'm gonna say DoorDash said 19 minutes. I'm gonna say.
I think it's gonna be about. I'll say 19 minutes. I think it'll be 19 minutes.
I'm gonna say 17 minutes.
Yeah, well, you gotta say the DoorDashers are already kind of there, right? So
maybe. Yeah. I think Caitlin's gonna be faster than DoorDash. I'm gonna say she's.
Okay,
I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the under of 19 minutes. At least I have this image in my mind of like she's going in her car, turning on this broadcast live on WFAN New York because that's what we're on right now, driving against the clock to get the hot dog and the burger back. Actually, it also depends on what she orders. If she gets herself, that's also true. If she wants something too, that can slow things down. But it also needs to be said that like we are way better than whatever is on the air at WFAN right now.
Listen. I've known for a long time that it's just a matter of time before we're discovered. All right, we got the best producers, we got the best editors, we got the best show, and that's why it happens like that.
Yeah, my coffee's finally kicking in. I don't feel like insulting every fan base anymore. Right?
Would you like some coffee mate in your coffee?
No, I have no coffee left. That's what I'm saying. It finally kicked in.
Coffee mate. I don't want to die.
Put some Splenda in here because it's something else.
It's something else, right? I'm gonna get a hot dog, not Nathan's hot dog. We're getting a Five Guys hot dog in solidarity with Joey Chestnut.
I don't think it's a Nathan's hot dog.
It's not. I'm saying I'm eating this. I'm not gonna eat Nathan's now. And that's a shame because Nathan's makes great fries.
That's also true. Nathan's has great fries. Nathan's has great hot dogs. As a guy who's not a fry guy, but I like Nathan's fries.
You're a fry guy, huh?
Not a fry guy. I'm an onion ring guy. I like onion rings. Big onion ring guy.
I was gonna say we're still friends, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, it depends, right? Like if you go to McDonald's, you're gonna get fries.
You got great onion rings in New Jersey too. That's the other thing.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like
you and I went to Halston's before. You know, they have very unique onion rings. They're much smaller, like silver dollar size.
Yes.
Also known from the last scene in the Sopranos.
The Sopranos,
which I think ended off.
20 years ago.
No, no, it wasn't that long.
Well, no, it started 20 years ago. I think it ended like 15 years ago.
I think it was like 08. It was like something like that.
Yeah, it ended while we were in like finishing college.
I was living in New Jersey when it ended.
I was also living in New Jersey.
Yeah, I was just in your hometown the other day. I was in Bloomfield showing my kids where Uncle Ray.
It's still there. Still there.
It's still there. I didn't get a chance to go to the diner, but next time you're here.
Absolutely. I miss Bloomfield. I forget how. Like now that I've been out in LA for 13 years.
Yeah, Bloomfield has a little old town feel to it, and there's places to go, and you can get anywhere you need to pretty easily. And
that's the thing, right? It's got that small town suburbia feel, but it's also only 15 minutes away from New York City.
Yeah. It's there's grass and things that are alive outside of the people, which is
right.
Nice.
Yeah, no, exactly. It actually has grass and bushes and trees
Yeah,
and Clark's
I've
Pond.
been to your place in LA. I don't remember seeing grass.
Not a lot of grass out
Yeah,
here. No,
yeah.
I'd have to walk like a half mile to get to grass finally. So
Jesus,
yeah, no grass. It's all dead
it's
or
all
replaced by
dead.
pebbles. They replaced it by stones and pavement and stuff.
Yeah, well, the sun would kill it anyway. No water, too
Yes.
much sun.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, speaking of dead things, let's go into the geek section.
Yeah.
We rambled now to give Caitlin plenty of time to get to Five Guys.
Yeah, well, the clock, Ray. The clock's at let's see, the clock is at 4 minutes 15 seconds.
All right. We vamped for her long enough. Star Wars Acolyte debuted. First 2 episodes debuted, and I liked it. I didn't necessarily love it, Lee. I'm looking forward to seeing tonight's new episode. There's definitely a bit of a almost like a True Detective vibe, a little bit. There was one particular shot that made me think of The Fugitive, and that film with Star Wars.
I didn't do it. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. There's literally they almost recreate that in the one scene in I think it was the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's where she's on the edge and she's like, I didn't do it. And then except for the Jedi, he doesn't say I don't care. He
says I believe in you.
I believe you. Yeah, I believe you. Yeah. But yeah, Lee, what are your thoughts so far on the Acolyte?
Yeah, Ray, I think it's similar. I'm enjoying it. I want to watch more of it. It's not hard to watch. It didn't lose my interest. The main characters are great. Again, for those who haven't seen it, spoiler alert. But
spoiler, by the way. Yes, it's been a week. It's been a week. So.
Yeah, you and I called it. This is a twins drama.
Yes.
I think the main Jedi man, Saul, or Saul, however you want to say his name, clearly knows more than he's letting on.
Absolutely.
And again, the premise of the show is that one of the twin sisters is killing the Jedi that apparently did something to kill their parents and
to their home village, whatever. Yeah.
So we found out in the second episode that they both thought the other twin had passed away or was dead.
Yes.
So it makes me think that the Jedi here are complicit in some way to what's going on. We also saw a red lightsaber. We don't know what it means. We don't know who that is. Or where they come from. I wouldn't be surprised, Ray, if the guy that's making all the poisons is actually the person in that costume. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's Darth Plagueis the Wise. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be Darth Plagueis. I think it could even be a young Palpatine, maybe.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible with the mask on 100 years prior. It's possible, right? So there's a lot of different directions this could go, but yeah, it's really good drama. It's not leaning on Star Wars characters. It's just taking place in the Star Wars universe, which I really appreciate because I love the Star Wars universe and I don't mind seeing good stories within that universe. So it's been fun. And again, I think there's going to be some twists, obviously, along the way. But this is Disney's first forte, really, into unestablished characters in the TV format and trying to just say, hey, let's do some great storytelling. And so far, it's been good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, a little predictable, as you mentioned. Because immediately I'm like, sister, you have a twin sister.
Yeah, and Force using sister, by the way, too. So
yes, they both use the Force.
I also think too that the Jedi that she's killing, we're going to see them again at some point somehow, whether it's a flashback. I mean, these are big names.
I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna get flashbacks, especially because they kill off Carrie Ann Moss in the first 5 minutes, which I also kind of saw coming. Like as soon as the fight started, I'm kind of like, oh, this is going to be the impetus. This is going to be like a Mulligan's Millions things, which if you don't know, that's like a really old Cesar Romero movie.
Yes.
I think it's called Mulligan's Millions.
No, it starts out well. And again, like we have to understand the motivation behind
Madigan's Millions. Excuse me, Madigan's Millions.
Yeah. And the main characters, like she says to all of them, strike me with all of your force. Like there's something going on here that we don't know about. Now, my guess, Ray, is that this is what I think is going to happen. I believe that the two sisters were pinned as Force users, and the Jedi are trying to force the parents to let them come to the temple. And the parents maybe didn't want them to come to the temple. And that's why they're so easily manipulated by the dark side. The other thing I'll say is this, too, that this is a time period the Jedi are very, very powerful, but also very, very blind to things that are going on. And you can already see there's a little bit of that going on in the show of that they really think that they can't be beat. They think that they're
Yeah,
invincible.
they
There's
think
some
they are
commentary on
the
that.
authority in the
Yeah.
galaxy, and what they say goes.
Yeah, and so I think that the Acolyte, the larger Star Wars story here is that the Jedi are showing cracks in the armor,
Right.
and that they're not perfect, right? Which will lead to the dark side. But again,
Yeah.
we saw a red lightsaber. That is a dark side lightsaber. That's going to have to be something that leads to it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a young Palpatine, but they were pretty adamant, and they might be lying, but they were pretty adamant,
Sure.
like, we're not doing cameos in this show.
Right.
Yoda is the only one that makes sense. They haven't shown
The
the
only
Jedi
other one, right?
Council.
Yeah, because Yoda we know is kind of in his prime at this point. Still.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, is that a cameo or is that a character that would be in the show? I mean, that's the other thing too. But
Right.
I would like it so much more if it was Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Who has a role in this, and that, I mean, time wise, that would make some sense.
Sure. Well, and even then, and maybe that's what forces Plagueis to start looking for a new apprentice, and maybe it ends. Maybe the series ends with Plagueis on Naboo, right? Where obviously, which is where Palpatine's from.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if the Darth Plagueis novel, which I've read, is Legends or canon at this point. But I mean, look, I'm enjoying the show. That's what I would say. I want to watch more. It has not dragged on. I mean, even there were some times in Ahsoka. Ahsoka had unbelievably good episodes and some that dragged. Same thing with Andor. Like the first few episodes of Andor, I had a real hard time getting into that show. Once it gets going, it's much more fun. All right, but this one kept your attention, and I see why they did 2 episodes.
Yes,
and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes here, and we're gonna get our first Wookiee Jedi too. So I'm looking forward to that.
The episode 2 ended with the Wookiee Jedi, which we know is the next target of May, the dark side twin.
Not Osho, the non-Jedi twin.
Right. Yes. I mean, yes.
And they know each other is alive now too. So they did a really great job setting this up. And like apparently she's going after 4 Jedi, and she's killed 2 of the 4, and we know where the other 2 are. So we'll see how much this speeds up. It also makes me think that there might be they've been known to do this in Star Wars. I mean, it might be a turn in this series where the main motivations we're seeing now might not be the actual main motivation for the series.
Yes.
Right. This is like the early story, because like we all want to find out who that Dark Lord of the red lightsaber is. I won't call him a Sith Lord yet.
Yes, absolutely. It's and there's a couple of big questions left, and that's the biggest one.
Yeah,
is who is pulling the dark side?
Well, and again, there's every reason to believe that there's twin sisters, that maybe one of the Jedi is the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
You don't know who it could be. It could be anybody.
Yeah, and that's what's so intriguing about this. So yeah, liked it. Looking forward to the next one. Definitely might be something that at the final of the 8 episodes might not land, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But
it's earned us back for another week, and that's really all you can ask for in television.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the Caitlin timer. The Caitlin timer is at 11 minutes, 37 seconds. We'll see.
Will she be faster than DoorDash again? I took the under of 19 minutes.
I'm taking the over.
And Lee's taking the over. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, something that's not bringing me back for more, sticking with Star Wars. Star Wars Hunters released.
Tell everybody what this is.
So Star Wars Hunters is a free-to-play 4v4 team-based shooter set in the Star Wars universe. It is free for mobile and for Switch. I played it on Switch. And I feel like that might have actually given me a distinct advantage, because if I got paired up with mobile users in a shooter, a console user is always going to have a distinct advantage. And Lee, I played 12 matches and I won all 12, and I was MVP in all 12. And look, I'm a pretty decent game player. I'm not going to lie, but I shouldn't be getting 12 straight MVPs when I'm playing any game. And I absolutely dominated. I played as one of the bounty hunters, and I played as the heavy stormtrooper who has a portable E-Web blaster, and I really dominated with him. And that was a lot of fun. Look, there's a Wookiee, there's a Jedi droid in there. There's or a droid who thinks he's a Jedi. Droid? Well, there's a droid who thinks he's a Jedi. He wields a lightsaber. But
gotcha.
There's some interesting characters. There's 2 Jawas standing on top of each other in a trench coat. Seriously, that's one of the characters. And there's some really fun, interesting characters here. There's an Umnaut who has cleared out the inside of a droid Eka, and he pilots the droid Eka like a little mech, which is great. There's some really, really fun designs here. Obviously, there's a battle pass because free to play. They're like, please give us money for cosmetics and other stuff. Wink, wink. But gameplay wise, it feels like it's baby's first team-based shooter, right? If you are like me and you've played anything from Call of Duty to Overwatch to Gears of War to Halo, if you've played any of these and you jump into this, you'll probably have results like I did where you will tear people apart.
Yeah.
But if you are new, especially if you have like younger children and you don't want to also spend the money on a game and knowing that it's free to play, right? As long as you like, don't buy the battle pass. This might be a great way to get younger kids into team-based shooters, especially again around the Star Wars brand.
Say no more, Ray. We'll do it. I'm going to show you and the people watching the show at home a picture of my children with the Mandalorian right here. I'm ready to play. We're going to make this happen.
I would love to see what Logan and Alina think of this game. I really would, because for me, it's like a 6.
That sounds like permission. That sounds like permission to tell my wife. No, Ray is an expert and a professional, and he said that we need to do this.
Yeah, I think they will. I'm really curious to see how much they enjoy it. Just because, again, it's Star Wars. It's very easy to pick up and play, especially, again, for the Switch. For me, it's a 6 out of 10. But I'm also not the target audience anymore, and I recognize this.
No.
And so that's why I tell people, like, if you have kids and they are interested in Star Wars, again, it's cartoony graphics. There's no gore or anything, right? It's even with the lightsabers and the blasters, it's very tame in terms of all that stuff. I'm really curious to see what people with kids think.
I'll have a review next week for you.
Awesome. So so we'll have a part 2 to our Hunters review. Next week, I would love to hear what the kids think, because I know what I think, and I thought it was okay. It was okay.
Okay is fine.
Yeah. Again, free to play. For free to play, it's all right.
Yeah.
I think Overwatch and all that is better, but again, that's also geared towards the more hardcore audience in terms of its balancing and all the other stuff. So
as long as it's not Masters of Terrascasi, we're good.
No, we're well past that, thankfully. Yes. So
throwback to 1997.
Yes. So there's that. And then but speaking of video games, we had a really big week in video games. Big weekend, I should say. Because Summer Game Fest 2024 took place.
Summer Game Fest 2024. For those of you listening, this is Ray's most wonderful time of the year outside the holiday rush.
Yes.
That was the intro to this segment. It was perfect pitch. Perfect pitch.
You did great.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy and Savi for listening to that.
Yes, you did great. I appreciate it greatly. I'll say this: the weekend got off. Jeff Keighley with his part of the show got off to. He told people, he's like, "Don't get your hopes up." And for his show for 2 hours, we had one significant announcement.
Horrible.
And I feel like it is partially because A, Jeff charges ridiculous amount of money for airtime.
Horrible.
B, I think that everybody has just kind of realized, like, if Microsoft's going to do a show and Ubisoft's going to do a show, and we could just do our own show. And Nintendo's doing a show in 2 weeks, and Sony did their show early, which Sony's show sucked. But why do we need to be a part of Jeff Keighley's show? Why? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, because nothing was there that was interesting aside from the fact that they announced the Alan Wake 2 DLC that I haven't had a chance to play yet. Surprise dropped over Summer Game Fest. Sam Lake, of course, the creative director and head writer over at Remedy, came out, did his little dance, and it was like, I know you guys have been waiting for the Alan Wake 2 DLC. It comes out tomorrow. And then everybody erupted, and everybody's like, yay! And for the other hour and 55 minutes of the show, it stunk. To the point where Jeff was so insulted, he tried to bomb, not literally, the Xbox show.
Love that you felt the need to be like, not literally.
Yeah, he basically had to dunk on social media the Xbox show, and then a lot of developers from Xbox were like, no, Jeff, you don't know what you're talking about. You're incorrect. That's actually not true. This is all an engine. This is all this. Like, because he kept trying to basically say, well, this was a cinematic. This was a sim. And Xbox was like, no, this was in engine. This was in engine, which is different than a cinematic. That's a big deal that's done in Unreal 5. And because honestly, Xbox dominated. Ubisoft was okay. Ubisoft did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Everything that was expected from Ubisoft was there, and it looks great. Star Wars Outlaws looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. Game of the Year contender, no doubt. Assassin's Creed Shadow Also, Game of the Year contender. Looks phenomenal.
Finally,
no
we got
doubt.
some stuff to be excited about. Wait, Ray, the door's opening. Hold on. Clocking it out. Wait, how are we doing this? Is it when it's delivered
Oh
to
my
me?
God, if she's here. I got the under. She got the under.
No. It has to be in my hand.
Caitlin from the hot dog.
Do it. Look at that. Boom. Wait, that's the soda. I need the hot dog. Caitlin,
No,
give me the hot dog.
yes,
You got
where's the
3 seconds.
hot dog?
Yeah.
1858 with 2 seconds to spare.
That's amazing. That was amazing timing. Wow.
Caitlin
Faster than
is
DoorDash by 2 seconds.
just faster than DoorDash.
Caitlin, you gotta get me the hot dog.
The hot
did you give me
dog
the
is
right
in
hot dog?
Lee's
This
hands.
could be a problem. Huh? With mustard. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Coffee mate. No, just kidding. Wow, that was live, and you guys can hear her. Did you get fries too? What happened?
Of course, we get fries.
You got fries. I'm gonna eat a fry. Oh yeah, the bag is sweating, so you know the fries are in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And peanuts. She bought the peanuts.
Oh, she brought
Oh
peanuts.
my god! What a
She
peanut.
almost cost us the time record for peanuts.
No, I'm sure she got the peanuts before. Hold on, Ray. This peanuts for you. All right. Wow, this was an exciting episode today. We've accomplished something today.
I know we're still just getting started with Summer Game Fest.
I know. I'm gonna eat this while you're talking because I know how. Oh my god.
No, you eat, and
Wow.
I will continue to give a rundown of everything that happened at Summer Game Fest.
Wow, this is the best episode of Geeks ever.
Yes, congratulations, we did it, guys.
That was unbelievably on time.
Yes,
DoorDash, eat your heart out.
yeah, but yeah, Summer Game Fest again after the Jeff Keighley stuff was fantastic. Ubisoft also announced a new story DLC for their Prince of Persia game, which I'm super pumped for. So Ubisoft did solid. EA showed off more of Dragon Age. Dragon Age, now called Veilguard, confirmed to release this year. Looks phenomenal. It has been 10 years since the last entry in the Dragon Age series. I'm super excited. I know Dr. Jan is going to be super excited because I know she's a Dragon Age fan.
Love Dragon Age. I'm surprised it took that long, to be honest with you.
You know what it was is that there's been a lot of, well, obviously with a lot of changes at EA, a lot of firings, a lot of hirings, a lot of moving around. Then the last Mass Effect was kind of a flop. So kind of think they kind of pumped the brake on a lot of stuff. They wanted to make sure that this was going to be a hit. And so far, again, from what we've seen, another Game of the Year contender. Like there's not as many games coming out this fall than there were last year. But the games that are coming this fall, from what we've seen, oh my God, they all look phenomenal. I need a job so that I can play them all.
Is this part of the COVID correction?
See, I think we're still in COVID correction, right? So you got last year we had so many games because it was games that were delayed in COVID that slipped into 2024 that normally would not have been there. Now we're getting games that might have come out sooner. Finally, they're getting their last coat of polish and they're coming out this year. And again, and even all the firings that have happened, a little bit of it is COVID correction, right? Like we knew firings were coming post-COVID. We just didn't expect the industry. We just didn't expect 11% of the game industry is unemployed right now, folks. 11%, myself included. It's not good. It's not good. It's a lot. That's a huge contraction. Nobody expected that. There it is. There's the hot dog from Five Guys. It looks great. I'm so jealous. Lee, what are your thoughts as you munch away there? I want to know. Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. How is the hot dog? Thumbs up. Thumbs up all the way. Fantastic. All right. I'm going back now to Microsoft. 2 thumbs up. There we go. Siskel and Ebert. Fantastic. So Xbox kicked off with Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is also where I realized how old I am. For those who obviously Call of Duty, a lot of stuff in World War II, and then they moved up to like Vietnam and the Cold War, and now this year's game is set in Desert Storm, which is something that I was alive for. And remember as a kid, me too. And that is what Call of Duty is now talking about in their games. I will say this, it looks phenomenal. It looks like they're doing a phenomenal job. I think it's going to be amazing. They're going obviously to places in and around Desert Storm. I think obviously Call of Duty does a great job, always very respectful of our armed forces and our troops, and trying to craft their fictional, their narrative, but also paying respect to the people who, of course, actually did serve and whatnot during that time. And then obviously, and they're going back to multiplayer. They announced 16 maps at launch for multiplayer. That is massive. They're obviously going to have zombies. Like this could be a return to form because, again, I've said it, Black Ops. I go Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops Cold War, and then Black Ops 3 and 4 kind of at the bottom. I feel like Black Ops 6 could be back near that top of this particular series because this is how good it's looking. Oh, and by the way, day one on Game Pass.
Day one on Game Pass is huge. The other thing too with for those of you who don't know, hopefully most of you know, Gulf War 1 was not incredibly long. Didn't last that long.
It was like 3 months.
Yeah, it was a very short war. So it's gonna be interesting. But I think this also leans into, right, it's probably more about the multiplayer here than it is about the gameplay.
Sure, for sure. But they do have a campaign, so I'm curious to see how it goes for them. Also, new game announced, Doom: The Dark Ages, a brand new Doom, including a new gun where skulls are ammunition. They grind up the skulls and it spits out the bits of bone as bullets. That's going to be day one Game Pass. That's coming 2025, it looks like. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Another new game called Expedition 33, a turn-based RPG. Looks terrific. South of Midnight, which we knew was announced. This is kind of an action-adventure game from the folks over at Combustion. They do a great job in world building. Day one Game Pass. That's also going to be coming in the next 12 months. We got a new Perfect Dark from the folks over at Crystal Dynamics, who, of course, helped relaunch the Tomb Raider series a decade ago. Looking amazing. Joanna Dark is back, and she's got all kinds of fancy gadgets, and boy, oh boy, can I not wait for that. We got a new Fable trailer. Fable's promised in the next 12 months. Here we go. Microsoft pulling out all the punches, lefts and rights and uppercuts. The Indiana Jones and the Great Circle showed us a new trailer in the Arctic on an old dilapidated warship, and that's coming still this year. They promised us, probably I'm going to guess December, because they didn't give us a specific date. That's going to be coming day one in Game Pass. New game called Flintlock dropping in July on Game Pass. A new game called Wu Chong and the Fallen Feathers, day one on Game Pass. Microsoft, everything's coming to Game Pass. They don't care anymore. If it's a game on Xbox, it's on Game Pass. Subscribe already. It was a great show. It was a great show. Anything and everything. I didn't even get started. There's Wukong Black Myth. There's games that I didn't even talk about on here. Microsoft, 36 games in 90 minutes. By the way, that's how you do it, Jeff Keighley. So also, and actually it was 75 minutes because the last 15 were just a special bonus stream showing Black Ops multiplayer. So 36 games in 75 minutes. Holy cow. And they're all games that people are excited about. We got, again, I talked about Dragon Age. It's phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Right. I think this bolsters what I've been saying for years.
Yes.
The subscription model for gaming is the future. You will not be seeing too many more consoles. And if you do see another console, it's going to be a drastically different looking thing than what you have now. Right? This day one on Game Pass is the future. Like, why would you have to go out to the store to get these things? The overhead is less. It costs less to make. They make more money. I'm going to say it again. Microsoft is taking over. They're taking over.
Yeah, it was a great show. And look, Microsoft's had a rough few months, right? A lot of layoffs post Activision acquisition, which we knew was going to happen. That happens after every merger. But boy, did they really pull out the stops for this show, and it really felt like they had to. And they succeeded. They won the weekend. They did it. Congratulations, Xbox. And also, by the way, this is also why it used to be Xbox used to kick off the weekend and not be on the third day of the weekend, which is also something that Jeff Keighley should probably look into and probably stop trying to be like, I'm first, Jeff Keighley's first, I'm first.
How young did this make you feel?
Yeah, I felt like a kid again. I felt it was great. I was jumping up and down. This is fantastic. This is the way it should be with this June show every year. We should be getting stuff that makes us excited for the last the next 6 to 9 months. And now how can you not be excited? How can you not? Well, I mean, if you only have a PlayStation, you're probably not excited. But like if you have an Xbox, you got to be thrilled. Because I mean, again, I say that because Sony really did suck. Sony's half-hour presentation was terrible. They have nothing coming in the next
day, sir.
Again, unless it's a third party, right? Obviously, Dragon Age is going to be on all systems. Assassin's Creed is going to be on all systems, right? So like, so we know that stuff is coming, and so like you'll have that if you're a Sony fan. And we know Call of Duty is going to come to all systems. Oh, by the way, I love Sony right before the press conference being like, pre-orders up now for Black Ops Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's coming October 25th, trying to steal Xbox's thunder. And it's like, yeah, guys, they don't care if you sell it for PlayStation because they now own Activision. It's money in their pockets either way.
Small acts of defiance.
I was going to say, it's a lot of pettiness this weekend, right? Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot. Gears of War prequel. Gears of War E-Day to wrap up the show. That's what Jeff Keighley was bashing Microsoft for. He's being like, well, that's not an engine. That's not an engine. It was an engine. All the devs came crashing down on Keighley like he's a Sony server that got hijacked. Like, holy cow. Like, I'm sorry. Get over yourself, dude. I had Monster Hunter in my showcase. Don't care. Get over yourself, dude. Next time, let Microsoft. You want to have a good weekend? You want to start ride momentum? You kick off with Microsoft. Or you all get together and be like, who has all the good games? Oh, Microsoft? Yeah, Microsoft should go first, not third. Unbelievable.
Today's show is brought to you by Logic.
Yeah.
Find something.
Being first doesn't necessarily mean you're the best.
No.
That is not necessarily the best thing. But whoever is the best should go first.
It's a very old school methodology.
Yeah. The Keighley show was a snooze fest. It was a snooze fest. It was 2 hours, and I almost fell asleep multiple times. It was awful. The Sony showcase that had 30 minutes the week prior was awful. Like, Ubisoft, at least it was only an hour, and you knew what was coming. 20 minutes of Star Wars, 20 minutes of Assassin's Creed, and then a bunch of other little stuff. That's fine. There's no reason this stuff needs to be more than an hour. Again, Microsoft, 75 minutes. 36 games, 75 minutes. If you think you need 2 hours, there's something wrong with you. You need to learn something called editing. Editing.
I know how to edit, right?
Pacing. This matters to people. Anyway, Summer Game Fest was really good. There's a lot of good people there. There's a lot of good games, despite Jeff Keighley's mistakes. Despite Sony having nothing and just being worthless. I mean, sorry, folks. Like, I mean, just sorry for the harsh words.
You get death threats again. Be careful.
Yeah, I know. But it's true. It's true. How can you compare what Sony did this year to what Microsoft did? You can't. You can't.
No.
Microsoft, 36 games. Sony, like 3, maybe?
It's brutal.
It's a bad look. It's a bad look. And now most of the games, by the way, on Sony are owned by Microsoft anyway.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a takeover now. Right? And they know that. They're playing this smart. They know they don't have to do anything anymore.
No.
This week's mashup coming out Saturday. What colors would superheroes change to if they couldn't wear their normal colors? Since the Eagles and the Packers can't wear green, what if Superman couldn't wear red, white, and blue? What if Deadpool couldn't wear red and black? What if Captain America couldn't wear red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
That's actually a great topic. You should come out, listen to it on Saturday.
A lot of
it's already past Saturday. You can listen now.
Yes. So yeah, but yeah, that's our show. Lee, any thoughts on Summer Game Fest?
Ray, I'm happy that you're happy. I mean that. All right, I'm happy that I had a hot dog and I'm feeling.
I was gonna say how is the hot dog? Let's get a quick hot dog review.
The hot dog was fantastic. I was a little nervous because the bun was kind of flat and when
they put it in the foil, it kind of gets crunched up sometimes.
Right, but it didn't take away from it. You're right; it was cut in half. It had a grill taste to it. It didn't have a taste of like, you just got a hot dog and put it in boiling water. Like it was grilled to perfection with too many fries. Again, by the way, friends, when you order from Five Guys, always get the small fries. Again, my bag is sweating because there's so many fries in the bottom of the bag right now. Five Guys Burger and Fries. Today's second non-sponsor, along with Coffee Mate. Both of them can kill you, apparently. But enjoy them all you can.
No, you just have a burger and a hot dog. You don't get the fries.
I'd like to give a special shout out to Sabi for laughing at us all episode, but also Caitlin. Record timing on getting that. That was incredibly
18 minutes and 58 seconds.
Sabi, it's up to you, but I do think this might need a quick supercut of Lee gets a hot dog as one of the things that we'll tag Five Guys in that, because Five Guys, you made this guy really happy tonight. I appreciate it. Five Guys, burger and fries, and hot dogs and video games together.
Honest, like that would be my dream, is to just have like a really comfy chair. I have my Xbox Game Pass, and I have like Five Guys on hand. Yeah.
Like a couch potato job?
The couch potato, yeah.
I'm offering you the job now. I have a couch, I have TVs, I have an arcade machine, and a Five Guys nearby. You could be the official couch potato of this office. You might be going, how much do I get paid? You don't need to get paid. You've got everything you there. You'll be dead in a month, but you'll be here and you'll be having fun.
Well, that's why I don't need to get paid, is I'll be dead in a month.
Yeah, I'm paying it forward, literally and figuratively.
Just put me somewhere where my body can like be good fertilizer.
Oh, just leave it on the couch.
That would probably smell after a while.
It's a couch potato. Well, I'll move out by the time that's a problem. Janet,
this has gotten really dark really fast.
My wife does have a compost pile in the back. We can just throw you in there.
That's it. Just throw me into the compost
pile. Every year we'll have some potatoes from raised plants.
And there we go. And you just a little thank you to me.
Say to my kids,
for your potatoes.
Uncle Ray hated potatoes.
It's not true. I don't hate potatoes.
Why are these potatoes so sour? Well, Uncle Ray was pretty sour.
They're bitter. Sour and bitter.
They're bitter. Yeah, they're right next to that. Yep. So anyway, mashup's coming this Saturday. I'm still munching on the
peanuts. Mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes.
Well, everybody loves mashed potatoes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
saying.
You
gotta be a fool not to love mashed potatoes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like I don't like potatoes. I just prefer other things over potatoes usually. Unless they're mashed.
Mashed are good. Sweet potatoes?
Fantastic. Sweet potatoes are great. Mashed sweet potatoes are very good too.
Yes, they are. We've done it.
Actually, I'll say that I will also lean more towards sweet potato fries than I will regular fries.
Well, yeah, they're better for you too. This episode, everything: sports, geekdom, video games, food. I mean, this geeks are like sports, man. I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing out there, not sponsoring us, but this is a missed opportunity. Every week goes by, you could be doing it. So Five Guys Burger and Fries, listen, we love you. You love us. We could be your spokesperson. We are your people. Email us at geekswholikesports@gmail.com, or we'll email you and beg for an affiliate deal where we get free food every week. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that'll work. I could use free food.
Five Guys. Support the couch potato Ray. He'll move out here. He'll eat Five Guys on the couch while playing video games. This is a dream for you, Five Guys. This is every kid's dream. We have the mascot.
Yeah, it's me. Oh, goodness. Well, at least, again, man, what an episode. Let's see. I insulted 4 major cities across the country, right? Down in Florida, Boston, up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and San Diego. We had, basically threw under the bus one of the biggest people in video games.
Yes, multiple times, too.
Yep, the owner of the Athletics, which is fine because screw him. This is good. Yeah, this is the way it should be. Anyway. I need more coffee. For Lee, I'm Ray. This has been another edition of Geeks Who Like Sports. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We always appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.